A live update from police after a woman and two children were found in critical condition at a Scarborough apartment building. This happened last night. Let's listen.
The incident we're speaking of specifically is goal number 284-2259 for 2023. As Laura has already said, yesterday, December 10th, at approximately 19:31 hours or 7:31 p.m., uniform officers responded to the address of 5 Glamorgan Avenue in Toronto in response to an unknown trouble for a person that was believed to have fallen from a unit in that building. Officers arrived on scene. They located a female who was conscious on the ground, and as a result of information that they received at that location, they attended a unit within that building to check on the well-being of 2 young boys. When they got to that unit, the actual unit was secured, so officers had to force entry into the unit. When they arrived inside, they did locate 2 young boys who were vital signs absent. Both were transported to local trauma centers, different trauma centers, but unfortunately both of them succumbed to their injuries. The female was also transported to a local trauma center where she remains at this particular time. She will be undergoing surgery, which I can't get into right now. She is a 25-year-old female, and I can tell you that the 2 young boys that were located in the apartment are brothers and are in fact her children. Autopsies for both of these young boys are not expected to occur before Wednesday of this week, but given the circumstances and nature of this investigation, even its early stages, the Homicide and Missing Persons Unit has taken lead of the investigation. Of course, we will have no way of knowing how these children died, but certainly the scene presentation right now suggests that we in fact should be leading this investigation. The medical examiner will tell us conclusively how these boys may have met their fate. We are currently seeking judicial authorization to examine and process the scenes. And I can tell you that we have been in touch with relatives of the now deceased boys and the surviving female. They have been very cooperative with us thus far in providing a narrative with regards to this family dynamic. Subject to any questions, I know this is brief, but we are very, very early in the investigation. I really can't share a whole lot more than that, but if you have some questions, I'll see if I can respond.
How old are the boys?
The boys are 5 and 4 years old.
Did the boy's father die earlier this month?
Again, I'm not going to get into the specifics of the family dynamic right now. I can tell you that there was no one else in the unit when we attended. The 2 boys were located by themselves within that unit.
So the kin that you contacted wasn't the father?
It was a relative, and I'm not going to get into specifics who we contacted. We have been speaking with blood relatives of the surviving female victim, but I'm not going to get into much more than that right now.
So do you have an idea at this point whether the woman fell accidentally from the unit?
That is to be determined. My investigative belief right now is that it likely was not accidental, but that would be subject to further information received once we get inside the unit and do a better examination. But right now, it's not my belief that it was accidental.
Like, is your belief that she is responsible for the deaths of the boys or someone else?
Again, we don't know how the 2 boys have passed yet because we don't know what caused their death. I can tell you that when we went inside, they were clearly vital signs absent, but there was also not a lot or any visible trauma to their bodies. So we don't know who caused the death of the 2 boys at this point.
Is this being treated as a double homicide?
So it's being treated as a suspicious death, 2 deaths, pending the outcome of the autopsy, which is going to tell us how these 2 young boys died. Certainly, it's not an everyday occurrence where we have a situation where a young person dies with no known history or signs of trauma, but to have 2 of the same family found in this the way it's presented, then clearly, we are acting on inferences, but we're drawing no conclusions at this point.
Do you expect her to survive?
My understanding is that her injuries are quite serious, but she is stable right now. I suspect she's likely going to survive, but again, not a doctor, but the injuries that I've been made aware of would not be suggestive of someone that's likely to pass.
Have you had an opportunity to question her?
I have not spoken with her directly. Obviously, our investigators have been in contact with her. As I said, she's prepping for surgery or she may be in surgery right now. So obviously her care is what is paramount. The rest will look after itself when an opportunity presents itself.
Are you able to tell us what kind of surgery she's having?
I can't get into that for privacy reasons.
Okay, that's fair. You said that you believe it was not accidental. Do you think that the woman herself, put herself over the balcony, or that someone might have pushed her?
Early on, I don't believe at this stage that she was assisted in falling over the balcony. I don't know what her motive was when that occurred, but certainly I have no reason to think that someone was with her at the time she fell.
She told you to go check on the unit, and they told you there were children inside?
Again, I'm not going to get into specifics. We received information at the scene, and based on that information, we did a wellness check into a unit. When we did that wellness check, the door was in fact secured. We had to breach it and then found what we found.
Do you know how long the boys had been VSA before you guys entered the unit?
I can't say specifically. I do have some information to suggest that they appeared to be healthy and well earlier that same day, and I won't get into how we have that information, but certainly some hours prior to us getting this call, they appeared to be in good health.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we've been listening to Inspector Terry Brown with the Toronto Police Department give an incredibly tragic update on a call that they responded to yesterday at Glamorgan Avenue. A female was found unconscious on the ground. He says that was not accidental. Pending the autopsy results of the two boys who were found inside the apartment where this happened, 5 years old, 4 years old. This is now being treated as a suspicious death. Again, that is pending the autopsies. And this was all part of an unknown trouble call at 7:31.